two kinds of people in the world, Johnny. There are the people who don't give a crap if there's a spot on their pants.
He cares, though.
And there's the people who do. I don't. Joe can't have a fleck of anything on his clothes.
The thing is, he cares. He just doesn't care enough to look beforehand. Like,
Joseph can't have a fleck.
nah, I hate when stuff is on me, too.
I'm just
like right now, like, you know, I'm the biggest secret in my house is I'm the best person that does laundry.
Oh, you do
like,
the best laundry?
My shorts are wrinkled. Are they putting a dryer sheet in my stuff? Cannot be. Because when I dry my shorts, they don't come out like this.
Well, and I think the secret is to pull them out and fold them as soon as the dryer stops. I'm the master at not ironing a thing.
I hate ironing.
Me too.
And I can't do it right now.
Yeah.
Soon, though. Soon.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
So that's to me the key to not having to iron anything is to pull it out while it's still warm.
Yeah, so I'm going to do some laundry today.
Yeah, I did.
And make sure my shit don't get wrinkled.
I started mine this morning, and then I got sidetracked by my boys. I know. I was. What is Akivia's little brother's name? Bobby?
I don't even know.
I think it's Bobby. He's so freaking adorable.
I know it.
And
That's
just sweet. Too. And I love that he's still a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm so often around young people, but they're acting grown young people.
Salute to the mom for that.
Yeah, yeah. And yesterday, I was kind of parked at the food table helping dish out food and keeping people eating, and Alicia was passing out glow necklaces, and there wasn't one for him, so I got Carolyn's. Because they were looking for more, and he was like,
"Where's mine?" Yeah.
I got Carolyn's, and he didn't know how to crack it, and I taught him how to crack it and put it on, and Carolyn said, "Look at you, momming."
It's like, yes, I've been through this twice before.
I know, I've been through this twice before. So I jotted down some notes for some hot topics today, and I left them sitting on the corner of my desk, but they're still here.
Yeah, Haley posted a snap yesterday from the party.
Yeah. They just took it.
Did your mom get a piercing yesterday?
So yesterday, we took her out to lunch, and yes, we took her. She wanted her ears have grown back together from having her ears pierced.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she just doesn't wear a lot of jewelry anymore when she stopped working, when she retired and everything.
So it closed up on her.
So they closed up on her.
Mine is closed.
Yeah, so she had been wanting to go, and I don't know that she'd ever been in a tattoo shop before.
Oh.
We did not take her to Claire's to use the gun. Like, I wanted to go get it done right at the tattoo shop. And, yeah, it was super fun. But I did send my brother, which I don't think he ever texted me back, so he must have gotten the story already, of his mom at the tattoo shop.
I thought Carolyn might have gotten something.
Yeah. She was ready to get her nose pierced, but, you know, now we're back in basketball. She'd probably do it before games and then have it healed up enough to pull out, but I don't even like her wearing it at practice, so. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of girls have that.
Yeah, we missed our window. Joseph is ready to get his pierced too.
Nose?
Yeah. Yeah, Joseph.
I remember I got my ear pierced. I was in the 9th grade.
Yeah?
No. 8th or 9th. My mom had told me no at first. And then we were in the mall and they did it.
Yeah. We told Joseph to wait till he was 16, but I think we did it when he was 15.
It's hard because all the kids have it now.
It's just different.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's way, way different. Like it's kind of like why I stopped wearing it. Because, you know, when I was a kid, not everybody had it.
Yeah.
Now everybody has like 2 and 3.
Right. Yeah. Joe has 2, and he started wearing them again.
Yeah. But he looked cool with them, though. He looked cool with them.
I remember, for whatever reason, I used to really care about what people thought and asking him to take them out for our wedding. I don't know why. Isn't that dumb?
Yeah, looking back on it, he probably would have looked even better with them.
You know?
Because he looks good with them.
But I just thought, what if, you know.
I remember Tiara used to bug me all the time. Couldn't remember when I wore them. Because obviously when Tiara was first born, I wore them. But then, well, I want to know what you look like. So I had to put it on one day. So Tiara was like, nah, take that out.
Joseph just got one that dangles. It's got a little hoop in it, dangle, and I really like that. Joe's going to see it and go take that shit off.
You have to look a certain way to pull that off.
Yeah. And,
like
Joseph is definitely, he can do it.
Like he got it going. He got the, you know what I'm saying? Like he could do that. Yeah. I could never do that. I had the gold balls and the studs, but I never got a hoop or nothing like that because I didn't feel like I could pull it off. But he definitely can.
He definitely can. He's lifting a lot of weights and just venturing into the idea of bodybuilding, but not like, he doesn't want to be like a musclehead. Maybe he does, but not yet. But he just really wants some sculpt. And what he really wants is to reveal his abs. Some of that is genetics, and a lot of it is how you eat. And some of it is how you train. So he's going
to look great.
He's really been working hard on, and he's gotten kind of bulky, but he's doing a lot of protein and creatine. He looks good, though. And whatever. But now he's ready to cut. So he's ready to amp up the cardio and really focus on the food
and what else he got to do.
And right. And then so that he can see if he has.
He's living a good life.
He did it. Yeah.
He's living a good life right now.
He is. And Gio's birthday's tomorrow.
Yeah, I got to get the thing.
He's tickled. Like, it was just sweet when I said to him, oh my gosh, your birthday's tomorrow. And his whole face lit up. Like
he turned 19?
He is. He loves a birthday like he's still
I'm
12.
I'm not a big birthday person.
What?
I think it's because my birthday's a holiday, though.
Oh, that could be. But we still celebrate it.
No, we do. We do.
We definitely do.
I just, yeah.
I love my birthday, but I love other people's birthdays. It's like their very own holiday.
Yeah, I guess. Except if your birthday is a holiday.
Except if your birthday. I have 2 brothers who have December birthdays. And one of them is the 21st.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
And nothing you can do about it. You don't plan it.
I know.
I have a friend whose birthday is Christmas Day.
Wow.
Sucks.
Is her name Noelle?
No.
Funny. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Strongly Worded Podcast. I am Sue O'Lear.
And I am Johnny Hampton.
And we are recording on a Sunday afternoon in the dining room studio.
Yes, a nice crisp fall day for Florida.
Oh my gosh. I leapt out of bed at 64 degrees or whatever it was. So excited. And I wanted to hop out and go trim the shrubs I got for Mother's Day.
Oh, yes.
I got a trimmer. And then, but Joe had already trimmed the shrubs without it, with the choppy choppies. Mm-hmm. So we pulled it out of the box and put it on the shelf, but we can't find the cord. I'm wondering if he thought I got a cordless one. And it's in the box in the trash 6 months ago. I don't know, but I can't find the cord for it anyway.
Well, you could buy a cord, though.
I'll have to. I'm sure I can.
Yeah, do you still have the book?
Gotta look it up. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you get the cord. That's enough.
I will, but still, I didn't have it this morning for 64 degrees. But the dogs love this weather because we open up the doors and they can just run in and out as they want to. Yeah. And then they sit at the front door and just look out.
Yes, I like it because I'm not sweating too much walking.
It's true.
Oh, my God.
I'm sweating anyway because I'm a sweater and I've been cleaning house today. But
I never sweated until I had to learn to rewalk.
Yeah.
I think the dude at PT thought I was having a heart attack the other day because I walked in from the parking lot. A long damn walk when you haven't walked. He's like, are you sure you're okay? It's like, yeah, I'm good.
Give me some water.
Do you have a towel?
But you walked in here today on a walker.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's progress.
I got to do more of it because the walker goes away after this week. So, I'm looking forward to it. Foot gonna hurt though.
Yeah. I don't know that I'm emotionally ready for you to not have a walker. I
might cry.
I bet.
I'm still like,
I bet it's gonna be emotional.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. Like, am I gonna cry when I finally get out of the boot and can walk in shoes? Yes. The guy is probably gonna be like, yo, what's wrong with you?
But next week you're still gonna be in a boot, right?
I'm gonna be in a boot till I got about 3 more weeks in a boot.
Okay.
So next week, boot and walker. Mm-hmm. And then the following 2 weeks, just the boot, no walker, and probably a cane. Mm-hmm. Because they say, obviously, since I haven't walked, my balance is going to be off. Mm-hmm. So that's what the cane is for.
Yeah.
And then after that, just my shoes. And probably still the cane for a while.
Yeah. I didn't even think about what all this is maybe doing to your balance.
Yeah, I probably have none.
Well, no, it's just a different kind of balance because you've been balancing on one foot. You need balance to scoot around on that scooter. And when you're in the gym, you're scooting like you're.
Yeah, I put one video on Facebook and this right leg, I could see the muscle in the calf. I'm like, man.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you hop on one leg for 4 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So that's that.
Mm-hmm.
One of our last hot topics. Oh, wait. Let me back up to finish the introduction. I am calling this episode 1 of season 4.
Oh, are you?
Well, we've had kind of the same number of episodes of each season.
Are we still doing seasons?
Well, they said in that class it's good for organization and cataloging and stuff.
Oh, they did. Oh.
And then this is something else I learned that I never talked to you about. And I'm sure the listeners are riveted to learn podcast information. But some of the hosts, like iTunes, only put up to 100 episodes.
Really?
So when you get to 100, then we'll pull the first season off and put it behind a paywall on Patreon. And we'll do that.
Oh, okay.
Season by season.
Trying to eyes.
Yeah. So it's just like a way of cataloging.
Yeah.
Because I also learned having a theme can turn some people off if they're not interested in your theme.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we talked about.
But you know who I've talked to you about this, but not to the listeners. Do you know who I really want to reach out to?
Oh, the mom?
That mom.
Oh.
So, folks, we talked a few weeks ago about the Palm Coast mom who was making national news because of a bullying situation in school. And it looked one way, but really kind of went down another. And she had a bit of redemption.
Yeah. I've never been happier to be right because I actually know her husband. Mm-hmm. And I knew something was wrong right away. Like it's when I found out who the family was and the kid who has played in our basketball league. Mm-hmm. So she has all of her felonies they charged her with have all been dropped to misdemeanors.
Yeah.
Which
I would like to see those dropped as well.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, I mean, the principal lied to her, told her son was engaging in a fight when actually he was just getting beat up. Mm-hmm. They tried to jump her son. She intervened, and the cops tried to charge her. And then smear her on social media.
Yeah, she was the victim of a big smear.
That's the killer thing. Like, they tried to smear her on social media.
Yeah.
And, of course...
And she literally became national news.
Right. She was on a radio station in New York, Power 105. They talked about it. And it's funny because people just jump to a conclusion. Mm-hmm. Just because the cops arrest you doesn't mean they've gotten everything right.
Right. Right.
They probably did what they had to do in arresting her, touching somebody else's child. Mm-hmm. But they didn't have to do what they had to do with all that, posting it everywhere and all that.
Right.
And now, they put a little blurb, the misdemeanors have been dropped and it's in our local online magazine here. But the sheriff's office is not going to say anything.
Right. And the national news isn't picking up.
Right.
The resolution of it. That's another thing we talked about in that episode when we were talking about advocating for your kids, just about how, the sensationalized part is the, the juicy part isn't the peaceful resolution. It's the.
Yeah, man. But so thankfully for her, she doesn't have to worry about jail time or anything.
No, but I would love to get her to come and talk to us.
I think you could. I
think we probably could if I'm sure her legal team, I don't know if she's actively involved and she might have to wait, but I'm going to reach out.
Yeah, I got to look back because I ended up finding out who she was and her husband. I'll message her husband because we used to talk every day.
Good. All right.
I mean, not every practice at the gym.
Let's do it because I think it would be a great conversation to be able to talk about that.
Yeah.
One of the things on my list that I was going to bring up today, did you see that story circulating, speaking of things kind of shooting to headlines, where the kid in Texas on school picture day wouldn't take off his mask?
Oh, the little black
boy,
kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said, I'm going to do what my mom told me to do?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I saw that.
So then people thought he was so adorable. They're like, oh my gosh, I want to send you $5 to take him out for ice cream or whatever. So she set up this little tiny GoFundMe because people were like, reward him, take him out for a treat. And it turned into like $27,000.
So he's going to college now off that.
Exactly. That's exactly what his mom said. Now he has a college fund.
That's insane. Yeah, the photographer kept telling him, you could take off your mask now, because clearly she was 6 feet away.
Right.
All the necessary. And he's like, nah. My mother told me to. I would have been like that.
Yeah. I don't know if I would have or not.
I would have been. I was like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I have seen people think, well, first off, it's a story that a lot of people just read the headline of and then formulated an opinion in the comments, which is pretty normal. And so some of the reactions I saw were for people, I think, who actually read about it, were like, oh, and some people were like, so you get $26,000 for doing nothing but following the rules. And, you know, I'm busting my hump at work every day and nobody's handed me nothing. I've
seen people get thousands of dollars for shooting other people. So what do we care? What do I care what someone does with their money? It's their money. If they want to give it to a little boy, so be it. What do you care?
Right.
You looking for a quick, come on, man. I can't even. Like, I don't.
I know. I have some theories.
I mean,
he was a little black kid.
Yeah. That's probably part of it. And, you know, there's so many anti-maskers now, too. Mm-hmm. But in this country, we always worry about what's in the next man's pocket. Mm-hmm. Constantly worrying about that.
Absolutely.
So he got $27,000. It went viral. You know, he got lucky.
Right. What's he supposed to do?
Give it back?
Right.
Nah.
You want to know a secret?
What?
I donated $5. I sure did. What a sweetheart.
I didn't know they were doing a GoFundMe. Mm-hmm. That's insane. Mm-hmm. Well, good for him.
Yeah.
All for listening to his mother. See, kids?
That's right. Listen
to your mom. You're going to be all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I love that story. You and I are watching a show.
Oh, yes.
So Johnny and I both started Dope Sick on Hulu.
Very good show.
I don't want to give away any spoilers. I'm going to try really hard not to, but if you haven't watched it yet, hold on. I'm going to try really hard not to give a lot away, but
you can say it's about,
right. But it is about the opioid crisis.
Right.
Like
it's about the company that first produced OxyContin.
Yep. And it's insane.
It is insane, but I wish it was shocking.
Right.
It's not shocking, right?
No.
Like.
So I have a couple thoughts on it. I, of course, read a few articles. And one of them talked to, not everybody, like it's based on facts, right? But only, I think, 3 of the characters in the show are real people. And everybody else is sort of composites.
Yeah, I know
characters.
I know the prosecutor, the lead guy, is real. I read an article about him yesterday.
Yeah.
So the guy who he's the one spearheading everything.
Okay.
And they showed him sitting down with his family at dinner.
Yeah.
That guy's real.
And some of the family members.
Yeah, I actually read something on it.
Yay! Look at that. You didn't just show up and talk.
Not today.
But some of the Pfizer, was it Pfizer? No, Purdue. Yeah. Some of the Purdue the big wigs are real. But then, you know, some of the stories of the other people are composite characters. First off, Michael Keaton is a national treasure.
He's a great actor.
He really.
I was thinking watching him yesterday on the show, the acting he does with just his face. When he does, like, his facial movements that show, like, you know, anger or sadness, or he's very good.
He's very good. So I was a big fan of what was that show on Netflix about the president with Kevin Spacey? Golly,
I can't think of it. I know because
but you know exactly. Everybody's yelling it in their car.
We used to watch it until he got in trouble.
Everybody in their car is going, it's
man. I'm going to look it up right now.
So the president's wife was played by Robin Wright.
Right.
And I read a profile of her and how she approached that role. And she had she came in with a lot of, are you going to say it?
House of Cards.
Thank you. House of Cards. Everybody yelling it in your car on the way to work. Thank you. I heard you. But she came in with a lot of ideas of how she wanted to play Claire. And the director looked at her and said, "Be still." And she thought about that, and that created her whole character, the same kind of thing where...
She's good too, though.
Yeah, where she just...
I remember when she used to be on Santa Barbara.
I do too.
Me and my mom used to watch
Capwell, right? Kelly Capwell?
Yeah.
Whew. Like, I couldn't remember House of Cards, but I could remember...
Yeah, I remember her on that. Mm-hmm. And now she became a big movie star.
But it's the same thing with the performance in Dope Sick. Like, it's very deliberate. He's very... There's not nothing is extraneous in his portrayal. It's
excellent casting too, man. Everybody's very good.
Heck yeah. Michael Keaton was also my favorite Batman.
Yeah, it's Christian Bale for me. That's my favorite trilogy, but he was a great Batman. I remember me and my dad going to see that, and I had a Batman shirt. I remember that. Like, it's a clear vision leaving my house in Flushing, going to see that first Batman movie with him. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think we went to see it after a play one night. Like, my theater group of people, we did a play, we closed it, and then we went to see.
He was good, but Christian Bale was very good. Yeah. And his movies were good.
Yeah.
You know, Michael Keaton's going to be Batman in a new Flash movie.
Really?
Yeah, so DC, who's fouled up I know you're not a comic book person. Mm-hmm. These are not your movies, but they tried to create a cinematic universe, and it has gone terribly. Mm-hmm. But The Flash has a storyline called Flashpoint, where he runs so fast he can go to alternate timelines.
Ooh.
And in one of the timelines, Michael Keaton is Batman.
That's really cool.
And so, like, the latest trailer they released, you hear Michael Keaton's voice as Batman talking to the Flash.
I just love him.
Yeah, man.
I loved Mr. Mom.
Yeah, he's been good for many years too.
He's just
He was good, and he was in a Spider-Man movie not too long ago.
Was he?
He was a bad guy. Great in that too.
He was in that movie with Nicole Kidman where he was dying, and they made the video for their baby. She was pregnant.
I don't know if I've seen that. I gotta see that.
I can't think of the name of it, but
I don't like Nicole Kidman that much.
But I remember he was like making this video to leave for his child, and he was like, one of the things he did, for instance, was, this is how you shave, because he's not gonna be there to teach his son to shave. So he's like, always up and down, or down to up, but never side to side.
Not against cannot go against the grain. You will be in big trouble.
Yeah, but he's great. So the film though really got me thinking. My dad endured chronic pain and had a relationship with Oxy, and at one point weaned himself off of it, and then there just wasn't anything left. He had to start taking it again. And we would say to him at the time, there came a point where we were like, why are you worried about if you're addicted to it, if it's helping you? You're not going to work anymore. You're not, this is like, we're trying to keep you comfortable here.
Yeah.
At the end. Mm-hmm. And he was very concerned because there came a point earlier on in his life where he used it and definitely became dependent on it. And he was not. And then by the end, he was like, fine with it, Yeah. He by the end, the last day I spent with him, one of the things that I did was take him to the clinic to get his prescription refilled, and it was too soon, but they did it anyway because they knew.
Well, you could see by the age and all that.
And just the amount. Infection in your bone has to, I'm sure, be one of the most painful things to endure, because there's no escaping it. There's no getting in a comfortable position. There's no. Yeah. And so when I went and picked the prescription up, the pharmacist noticed it. I think I remember texting you when I left. So she didn't really have to convince me, but she came at me like she would to also take some Narcan, learn how to administer Narcan and just in case. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how that series ends. But I was telling Ebony yesterday, because she watched like some of it with me. Mm-hmm. I was like, there's going to be some sad stories in this thing.
Yeah.
Because it's setting up for some sadness for real.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's going to be 8 episodes. It's based on a book.
Yeah.
So there's going to be 8 episodes total.
So we almost halfway through.
Yeah.
Just release it all, Hulu.
Well, the only reason I'm glad we only had 3 was I still managed to accomplish something this weekend. Because otherwise I'd be sitting right there. But I watched some debate too. Even I first just looked in the comments on Facebook of the Hulu ad for the show. Uh-huh. And some people were saying how misleading it is. they must all work for Purdue, right? How misleading it is. It's not really setting up for how people really came to abuse Oxy. And other people are saying how true it is. So,
as usual, people, it's very clear what's going on in the show. Okay.
It's very clear what's going on in this country.
Right. Like, so, and before, this latest wave of, we got to roll this thing back. That's what they were giving you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had one when I got my wisdom teeth pulled. It was like a little tablets I had. And that thing knocked you out.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see how people can get addicted to those things.
Mm-hmm.
I never had a surgery before, so I had one, and I was in pain after the surgery, and I took one every night to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see how if I would have done that and I was empty, and in my mind just thinks I might need that to sleep, even though I don't need it anymore.
For sure.
I could totally see that. Other people who have non-addictive personalities or just lack empathy, I don't see how it can happen. Well, everything's not about you, Joe or Bob or Steve.
Not Joe O'Lear.
No, not Joe O'Lear. Shout out to Joe O'Lear.
So, I had posted on my Facebook about it because I am facing a surgery, and I don't recall taking any type of Oxy after my C-sections. Though some people posted that they had some. But one of my friends who's a nurse said what happens is people wait too long to take the next one until they're in so much pain they have to take twice as much to get on top of it. And that can kind of be a slippery slope.
Yeah. You got to take it as prescribed because they're telling you when it's releasing, right? So if it's releasing and it releases and it wears off after 8 hours, take it after the 8 hours.
Yeah.
Because now, like you said, if you're getting so much pain that little bit of release doesn't help,
right,
you need to double up.
Right.
Then you got to individualize your...
No spoilers. But it's a really good show to our listeners. If I would recommend you check it out. Excellent performances. I think excellent writing.
Yeah.
And a really interesting subject matter.
Yeah.
It's just nuts.
Mm-hmm.
This is when I wish I wouldn't have forgotten my list of topics.
Well, we also have to talk about it's our 1 year anniversary.
See? That was at the top of my outline.
That was the top of the list?
That was the top of the list. And I was so excited to remember how to lead in that I forgot to say, yes, this is our 1 year anniversary show.
Yes, we've been doing the podcast for 1 year. That's crazy.
It is crazy. A lot has happened in a year.
Yeah, a lot has happened in a year. What are your favorite episodes in the year?
I have several. I think I loved the one where we just had random questions. Like we just guac or salsa.
Oh.
We just kind of riffed on different preferences and stuff. And I liked, I loved our introductory one. I just wish I could fix the sound.
No, we're going to sound like we're in a tunnel forever. But that's good, though. So it shows how far we came.
I really loved talking with some of our guests.
Yeah, so my two favorite. So we did a podcast, literally, it was days after your dad passed away, right?
You can hear it in my voice, too.
Right, and it was about Thanksgiving, though. Mm-hmm. And we laughed so much. That was the most fun episode to do.
That was the real introduction to the Nutter Butter Banana Pudding.
Exactly. That, I did not know how that was going to go. I did not even think you should be doing it. Mm-hmm. But, you wanted to, so I came. Yeah, I brought my ass over here.
Let's do it.
And we had so much fun that night. Uh-huh. And the second one, I loved the episode with the Mayor of Flint.
Yeah.
And, I loved it because of how forthcoming he was. Mm-hmm. And you don't see that every day in former politicians. They don't tell you the real story. Mm-hmm. And, he admitted what his part was, what he could have done better. All these things that he said that probably no one ever asked him, or no one, he's in that town. He never gets to say that, but he was so forthcoming. Like I love that episode. Those are the two that pop out because we had so much fun with the Nutter Butters. Hilarious stuff.
That was very funny. And yeah, I was very nervous to reach out to Dane because I hadn't talked to him in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want him to think I was looking for some salacious conversation. And then I sent, sort of my rambly invitation to be on the show. And almost as soon as I hit send, I saw something about the water crisis in the news. And I thought, oh, crap.
He thinks that's why you're doing this.
Oh, crap. But he didn't. He said yes right away.
And he was great.
Mm-hmm.
He was great. But a lot of our guests, that little run we had where we had we had Dwayne, we had Tim and Stephanie talking about their upcoming TV show.
I think they're doing another one.
Another
show? I think they've got another one.
Wow.
I think they're casting for like a film noir kind of series.
Oh yes, I've seen a couple of posts. And then we had Cinnamon, who was great. We had Charles talking about teaching, which was pretty good.
Yep.
He gave me a nugget. They say get past the moment.
Right.
I try to do that now. Just outside, I was talking to my son about something. I take a deep breath.
I have had to take a lot of deep breaths this week. I've had some things at work that I've really had to breathe deeply. But even today, we have just in some of our conversations about some of the basketball stuff going on in town and the fundraising and whatever, I try to take a deep breath and be less reactive.
Yeah, well.
Because Charles, thanks Charles, shout out, get past
the
moment.
He was always like that though. He's very even keel.
Yeah.
And for me when I was young, I needed friends like that because I was not as even keel as I am today. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
I was a different dude then.
I think it's kind of the opposite for me. I've always been opinionated and I would shoot off my mouth, but now I can just state an opinion.
I had a quick temper.
Yeah.
And if I felt like you were disrespecting me in any way, then I wanted to fight you. That's how I used to be.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't know how I never got shot or something. Because I always tell people, yes, I'm from New York. I'm from some bad areas, but I wasn't one of those street kids. I don't claim to be. I know a lot of them, but I was not one of them. I'm shocked nothing ever happened to me because I talked the most shit ever.
Yeah. When I was younger, I would be very resolute in my opinions, but not probably to your face.
Yeah, I had to learn how to say things in a professional manner. Like my dad used to always say, you know how to tell people off without them feeling like you're telling them off. I had to learn how to do that.
Yeah. And I had to find a comfort within to not be talking about it, but be talking to it. Yeah.
You see, I got no problem. One of the things, I say what I say, and then I don't say anything else about it. And then, so, I'll say something, hey, if this X, Y, and Z happens, I won't be doing this. And I leave it up to you to make sure X, Y, and Z doesn't happen. And if it does, and I don't, and I do what I say, I don't want you to be surprised. I'm not going to remind you.
Right.
I'm not reminding you that I said this.
Well, I think that there are just so many people who don't mean what they say.
Aha. Yes. Well, yeah, I'm not one of those guys.
But would you agree with that?
No.
It's so easy to have an ultimatum or say a thing or whatever, but then
people talk tough, but they're not tough.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean what I say.
Yeah.
I got to have a couple funny instances throughout the week. I have been told by my HR department that I'm good at delivering uncomfortable feedback. I've had to deliver some uncomfortable feedback to some folks.
Yeah, sounds like you. That definitely sounds like you.
Yeah. Yeah. Kids, man.
4 more years.
Shitting where they eat. I can't understand kids causing a ruckus where they work.
Just because they're kids.
Because they're kids.
They don't realize that, they don't realize the consequences of their actions.
Yeah.
4 more years.
4 more years.
4 more years. The countdown is on.
Yep. It is, but Joseph and I were talking this morning. I'm not in any huge hurry for him. He's a great roommate.
Yeah, it all depends. I wonder a lot of times, what the future hold for Anthony. Like right now, my wife is screaming, he's going to go to somebody's college. But, you know, like, does he want to go away? I think he'll have a better experience maybe than Tiara. Tiara got homesick, like she said, and stuff like that. I'm not sure he would be.
Yeah. I don't know that Carolyn would. I mean, she would miss us.
Oh, no.
But I think that
I can't imagine her senior year hitting and she's not gone within a month.
Right.
Like,
and if she changes her mind and wants to stay close, I would love that. That is not, I mean, it's not, one's not better than the other. She's got a different way about her.
I think so too. Him, I don't know. Like, you know, we'll have to see.
We'll just have to see. But Joseph was saying, like, this, we don't make it an uncomfortable place for him to live.
That's how
He's
my
a
parents were.
responsible kid, and you know.
You know, I had a conversation with him about that once. We were talking about it, and I was like, "Oh, I heard you might stay." I was like, "My parents were the same way. As long as I worked and went to school, you know, they didn't care.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as I didn't disrespect their home in any way, I didn't have no big curfew or anything like that.
Right.
You know, but if I was gonna not be home, you know, listen, just, you know, give me a call saying you're not coming home, so I'm not waiting up.
Right.
Other than that, you know, that I went to a city university, so I was home until I was 21. I moved out when I was 21, so, and it was comfortable. I didn't have, you know.
Yep.
I was cooking my Johnny steaks, stuff like that. My mom says that's how she knew I had girls over, because steaks would be gone. I'm like, I can't eat a steak. You can, but 2 of them, Johnny. Oh, true.
Busted.
And they were ribeyes. That's what she's probably screaming at the TV. They were ribeyes.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Well, yeah. So we'll see. I hope I'd be happy for them all to stay for a while yet. I only pretend to be part of the countdown clock group. Our friend group.
We are part of the countdown clock. But, you know, for me, like, if you need to come home, you can.
Always.
You know, provided, you know, you can get along with us. So, you know. But, you know, that's what everyone else does. So I think, you know, from a social standpoint, right, like, for many, many years, like, blacks didn't own homes or anything. So when their kids left, they couldn't come back. Oh, you can't come back. I got to put you on the lease. But now, you know, I'm a homeowner. You can come and go.
Yeah.
As long as you can respect us, you can come and go as long as, you know.
It's not disruptive.
It's not disruptive.
Yeah.
Exactly. We got options now, and that's what everyone does, right? Like, so.
I think another one of my favorite episodes was the one with Dwayne.
He was good.
He was, and I was really interested in talking about incarceration and whether or not it's really rehabilitative and some of those types of topics. Simply just, I mean, personal interest. You know, what's going on in my own family. And
he said until his daughter came and was a little ashamed that he was in there, that he was talking about getting out and doing what he did before,
right?
Which shocked me.
It shocked me too. It also shocked me how kind of recent it was. I feel like it was way far back in his past.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that either because I don't really give a shit, but but yeah, I was shocked at that too. But he was great. He continues to do great things. He's just a good man. You know, and you can't say that about too many people. Like, you know, I can count on one hand the people I can say, oh, that's just a good man.
Yeah.
And he's one of those guys.
Yeah, he is. So basketball is gearing up.
We're getting back at it. We need to send the FBC coaches some Zoom links.
I mean,
yeah, we need to do that.
You know, they both said they'd come on.
Yeah. I think Coach Williams would probably do it from home.
Okay.
And but yeah,
we'll get our squad cast going.
Yeah, I'll talk to him again this week. But yeah, you know, so our league starts up.
We're practicing.
Oh, Fitz, forgive me. No, it's the second weekend in November. I don't know the exact date, whatever the second Saturday is. But practices have begun. There's been an explosion. A lot of kids. You know, a lot of kids on each team. And
how many are new? Like, what percentage do you think of the kids that are playing that right now are new?
I don't know. It's a good chunk though, because I have some people I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
On my always on the youngest division, you get new people.
I mean, that's why I feel like it's so important to have good
Yeah.
coaches for those younger teams.
I think this season is pretty good. So we'll see for that division. I got a bunch of new people there. I got like 3 or 4 kids that are new there.
Mm-hmm.
And then on my middle school team, I have another 3 or 4 that are new there.
Mm-hmm.
The oldest team, these guys are all been around.
Right.
But yeah, and that's a good thing.
And the high schools are gearing up?
High schools are gearing up. I'm going to be in my 3rd year as an assistant at one of the local high schools here.
Mm-hmm. I'm
excited about it. They have a new head coach. He's very good.
And I'm watching the girls program, and they have a new head coach.
Yes, they do.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So I'm very invested in how this season goes. I mean, for both, right? But especially for the girls.
Oh, you have a daughter that plays basketball.
I have a daughter that plays basketball, and
she is one of the better 8th graders, probably one of the best 8th graders in this county.
Mm-hmm.
We just need her to realize that. but yeah, I mean, hopefully I'll get him to come to some games.
Mm-hmm.
Check her out.
So, with
that thing's a rebuild, though.
It is a total rebuild. And that's cool. Like, I don't mind that.
Yeah, it's a rebuild.
I just want to see.
Prayers for Coach Wagner.
Yeah, but I just want to see that it is going to rebuild. I have a lot of. Had Joseph been more desirous of it, I would have done things different with his high school career, because he came on. I mean, it just wasn't what I wanted it to be for him. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to let that happen with a second kid.
Nah, it won't, because you're already engaged. So
I was engaged with Joseph, but I followed his lead a little bit, and I was new down here.
Yeah,
I think it would have been totally different for him if we were still in Wilson.
I think engaged is the wrong word. Not engaged, but I think you're taking the lead on it this time. Mm-hmm. Is a better way of putting it.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of the young ladies on that team. Well, I know about 3 of them now, 3, 4, and one of them said yesterday was better.
Yeah,
they're getting better. So
I am all for progress as long as I see progress.
Yeah, I seen a couple of clips. The spacing was better.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go to the game yesterday. I was just tired yesterday. I normally go and support, but I was tired.
So, for our listeners, I'm not trying to just make this about my specific situation with my kids, but I think, a lot of the folks who listen to us are parents and have been in those situations. Like, when do you become momager? When do you say something? When do you don't? Joseph was very concerned that if I was speaking up about things, I was going to make it tougher for him.
Yeah, it's tough because it's hard to trust coaches.
Mm-hmm.
If it is, like, I've coached my son since he was 8. And I kind of know what I'm doing. And so it's hard to watch him get coached by people who don't know what they're doing.
I think Joe would tell you the same thing. I mean, he was Joseph's only coach until middle school.
Right.
Until middle school. It's the first time Joseph in any sport was coached by anybody else.
So we got lucky. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm going to get lucky.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to speak for y'all, but, he went from his dad to my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Got a little lucky.
Mm-hmm.
So Anthony's going to go from me, hopefully, to Coach Williams. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I'm getting lucky there.
Yeah.
Because he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And Anthony will have to earn everything and play the right way and do all those kind of things. So,
but he will.
Provided he makes the team.
Provided he makes the team. So what else has happened in the last year?
We
elected a new president. We started out talking a lot about politics because it was such a politically charged time. We don't do that a whole lot.
Yeah, I think our 2nd episode was about Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And
probably our 4th and our 8th and our
but that was a tough time. I don't know, and I don't know if things are different now. I think instead of Trump versus whoever, now it's mask versus no mask. Mm-hmm. So people got different things that they cling to, right? So in that year, that was a tough thing, man. People who supported Trump, I had to have a lot of hard conversations with some friends about that.
Mm-hmm.
And some people listened to those conversations, and they're still my friends today. Other people did not, and I don't miss them.
It's interesting. Even with my mom yesterday, she said, and, you know, our country's just going to hell in a handbasket. And I said, well, change the channel, Mom.
I mean,
you know,
I don't
get out
I don't
of the
understand.
echo chamber, because to me, it's not even, it's impossible to have any kind of true bipartisanship anymore to get things done together, because it was just so, our country is so horribly divided and exposed. I think people were just exposed.
And I think that's the thing that always made me laugh, is that, you know, there's been years and years and years of minorities telling you this is how these people act.
Mm-hmm.
And now, you know, you'd have friends who would say, no, John, and I would always tell them. I remember I used to have this boss. His name was Jeff Stiles. Actually, he reached out to me the other day, and he said we'd be having some good conversations during this time. He was from Canada, and he called it, but he, you know, he's an American citizen, considered himself a libertarian. And we would have talks all the time. And when Trayvon Martin got shot, we would have talks about that. And I said something to him once. He said, oh, that's not fair. I said, Jeff, just because you're not a racist doesn't mean there's not racists in this country. I know you're not. I talk to you every day. So you don't see it that way because you can't. You can't get there. Your mind can't get to following a black kid because he's black.
Right.
Your mind can't get there because you're not like that.
It's why so many people posted such ugly things about this kid getting a $27,000 GoFundMe for an ice cream.
It's like so you can't get there, but your other people are like that. And that was the most interesting dynamic of the Trump years. Seeing non-minorities fight with each other, saying, how could you say this? Well, we've been telling you there's a segment of you guys that have been like this. So that was always interesting to me. Like, oh, look, your cousin is a racist. Sorry.
Yeah. Carolyn was saying to me, also just thinking about the last year in the car today, that she really barely even remembers the holidays last year, because we were
she was in a haze.
We were all deeply in shock and in a haze. Like, Thanksgiving was 2 weeks after my dad died.
Listen.
So she, you know, I think we agree that we'll feel it in a different way this year, because last year we were all numb.
Like, man, you know, like my dad has been gone now. Geesh.
Almost.
It's been 20 months, something like that. And, yeah, like, and I remember I coached the game the night he passed away.
I remember.
And I remember
when Anthony.
Yeah, he hit a half-court shot that I didn't see. Yeah. And I remember some aspects of the game. Usually I can remember, for some reason, I can remember almost every game I've coached, like vividly.
You have like a seriously photographic memory
when it comes to that. Yeah. Yes, I can remember who shot it, what play, all those things. I don't remember that.
Joseph is like that about.
The only play I remember from that game is like a left-hand layup that your son made. I remember that. I remember our point guard Vic getting in foul trouble. I remember that. I don't remember anything else. And I don't remember, I mean, February through April or May, I didn't, like 3 months gone.
Yeah.
And, you know, last year at the holidays, like my wife knew, because it was my first holiday without my dad. So she knew. And like, she did things, you know, doesn't know. She decorated the house. I think your daughter was part of that surprise, actually. I came home and my house was decorated. And so, yeah, I mean, it's going to be different this year. I think it's still going to be sad, though, because I don't think you got a chance to get that out, because you just were going.
We just hopped right back into life. I mean, he died on a Saturday. I went to work on Tuesday. We were at the gym on Saturday. Yeah. You know, it was, I don't remember a lot of details, but I remember I just remember just that feeling, you know, like one foot in front of the other kind of feeling in those early days. I remember what it felt like the first time I walked back into Carver. Yeah.
Like when you lose someone like that close to you, like, you know, he's the patriarch of your family. So he's, you know, it's not just important to you.
And a huge presence, like just a huge presence.
Like, you know, for me, my dad was like the same for my little unit.
Yep.
Like he was big in my kids' lives.
Mm-hmm.
Like one day during the summer, Anthony was talking about him like he was still present.
He does speak about your dad in the present tense. I've heard it a couple times.
He does it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I, that worries me a little bit, but
No.
But yeah, when my wife loved my father-in-law, my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Mother-in-laws can be tough. My mom is tough. She'll probably listen to this. What do you mean? But she was tough on it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it was just her normal personality. But you want someone to be more welcoming when you are marrying their son. You just do, right? So, but my dad was always welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
So she loved my dad. Her sisters loved my dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's tough when you lose someone that huge, that big to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it has. It's definitely been a thread in everything for both of us for the last.
And I wish I could tell you it gets better. God damn it.
No, I know, but it really doesn't, does it?
The first person that told me that, it was so funny because he told me this probably 4 or 5 months before my dad died. We did a FPC car wash my first year, and Victor was there. Mm-hmm. Our number one fan.
Our number one fan.
And one of our best friends, one of my best friends as well. We got to talking about, I don't know how, we got to talking about how when he lost his parents. And he's like, oh, you don't get over it. And then he told me, like, when your dad passed, you're going to be messed up because you guys are really, really close. And my dad died like 6 months later. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't go away. Mm-hmm. Like, my mom asked me once, she said, oh, how do you go into the gym every Saturday? Like, don't you get sad? And I told her every time.
Mm-hmm. But what are we going to do?
And
go?
Yeah, and sometimes I go and I was talking with Miss C about this the other day. And sometimes I go and I'm sad, but other times I go and I laugh because I remember some things we did in there. You know what I'm saying? So I think you'll have a little bit of that since it's been so long.
Yeah.
We
took Mom to lunch yesterday and Carolyn named a place and then we both looked at each other and shook our head. We were like, no, neither one of us were emotionally ready for a place that we went with our dad.
Oh, yeah, I hear that.
So we went to a new place, but it was funny. We were both like,
Yeah, like I remember my cousin's wife, me and my dad used to go to IHOP every Father's Day. And then my uncle and my grandfather and my first cousin used to go. Yeah. And she was like, you should still go. I can't do it. Not on Father's Day. I can't do it. No. I can go, but not on Father's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and there were things I remember, and I'm not trying to turn this into it's just honestly stuff I've been thinking about lately. There were things that I told myself leading up to my dad's death that I can't believe I really ever uttered to myself.
Like you thought you were ready for it. Oh, yeah. So listen.
I thought it would be a relief.
So listen. My dad died young. He was early 60s, right? So, however, he had been ill. Stroke, heart problems, diabetes. He had neuropathy in his leg. Like, I hung out with my dad more than anybody. Saw him 3-4 times a week. Spoke to him almost every day. Mm-hmm. So it didn't surprise me that I got a call in the middle of the night he passed away. It wasn't surprising at all. I had been preparing myself for the fact that he would not be around. Yeah, nah. It doesn't. You don't prepare yourself for it. You think you do.
Right.
And nah, it's
just not possible. It's not true. Some of the things that I said to myself, just the amount of pain he was living with. I thought there would be relief knowing he wasn't suffering like that.
And I actually told my dad this once when my grandfather passed away. I was like, aren't you happier? And he was like, I don't even know what that means, son. Like, and he was like, well, maybe, he tried to explain it to me, but he couldn't. In terms of, I'm happy he's not in pain anymore, but he's still my dad.
Right.
And so,
I mean, nobody has known me as long as my dad, except for my mom.
I understand it now. Yeah, I understand it. Yeah.
The other thing I would say to myself is, well, you're supposed to lose your parents. This is the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, all that rational stuff is great.
That's what it is. It's just rationalization.
Before they pass away. Yeah. And then all that goes out the window.
I mean, and there were some seriously traumatizing things that happened even just in those last few days. I mean, I felt extreme guilt thinking that I had let my dad OD. That's what, because my last memory was them saying, okay, this is how you administer the Narcan. And, you know, he needed that medication so much. I thought, I let him OD. And, you know, one of his favorite PAs came in when she found out he was, you know, we had brought him in, and she came up and talked to me. And it was the first time I'd met her, but I felt like I knew her because Dad talked about her all the time. And I just sort of on her, like, oh my God, you know. And so she went and looked at his chart and this and that. And I don't know if she said it. I don't know if she was helping me out or if it's true, but I'm taking it as true. She said that the amount of medicine he was taking had nothing to do with why,
she's not gonna
why
lie
it
to
happened
you.
when
She
it
wouldn't
happened.
lie to you.
But I was just really thankful for that.
Yeah.
I was really thankful for that.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, I'm sure this year has been waves of guilt, of grief.
And guilt, but grief. Yeah.
Yeah, like for me, I remember in the weeks after, I was talking to my boss, one of my old bosses, and I was talking to him about my dad, and as I was talking, just started crying. I looked at him and was like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I don't know where this came from. Like,
I get that, though.
I don't know why this just happened. And he was like, it's okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah.
Every time something stirs up with my brother who's in prison right now, it's the same thing. Like, what I know is best versus what my dad wanted.
Yeah.
You know? So it is guilt, too, for me.
For me, like, having this big injury, like, not a lot of people understand the mental part of you not being the same. I think my family, I don't know, I'm not sure everyone in my family understands the severity of the injury that I had and what it means going forward. Like how I'm going to walk, how I'm going to move, the things that I can do, all that kind of stuff. My father would have understood that.
Yeah.
Because he went through it.
Yeah.
So I miss my dad for that, and that's not to say everybody who's listening who is in my family, I love you all and I appreciate your support. I'm not diminishing your support. All I'm saying is that for me, my dad was probably my biggest fan.
Yeah.
And he understood things that about being a man, about getting older, that not a lot of people. So he would have understood some of the depression nights that I've had with this thing. You know, but I'm feeling good today, though.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I like those days.
Yeah, so this year was good. We did Flagler United this year.
Right, we did, and we took a vacation together this year.
Yeah, that was
started
fun.
Kind of a new vacation tradition.
Yeah. Now we got a travel agent letting us down a little bit. She's trying to make some money off us, guys. If you have any.
But Victor and I right now are in this place of watching those Facebook groups from the place we stayed before. We'll tag each other and stuff, just like, oh, take me back.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
I've traveled with family and friends before, so I don't worry too much about those kind of things. Like, and plus, I'm not a very clingy friend. So in other words, like, if I go somewhere with somebody and hey, we're going to do X, Y, and Z today. All right, cool. I'll see you when I see you.
Dinner or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I was never too concerned about it, but it turned out even better than I thought.
Right.
Like, we had a lot of fun. We drank a lot.
I don't know that I'm ever going to drink that much again in my life.
It's so hard to explain to people because, like, I tell someone, like, I must have had at least 30 shots one day. And they look at me like and I'm not joking. It was like 30.
They just kept showing up. They just kept showing up.
And they were like, well, what happened to you? I was like, oh, well, fortunately for me, I have a high tolerance for alcohol. So nothing happened to me.
And it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
That was a definite upside to a year with the pandemic and with loss.
Yeah, we had a tough year. Like my family from February 2020 to 20, it's been tough. I lost my dad, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law. It's been
a lot.
It's been a lot,
yeah.
And then you add to that, everyone heard the podcast with what Tiara goes through. We deal with that. My son is heading into teenage years, and it's basketball and girls and trying to make sure his head is on straight and being married. It's and you go through the same thing. Like, it doesn't stop. Like, you don't.
Right.
You lose someone, parents pass away, but you still got to parent your kids.
Still got to parent your kids.
You still got to love your husband and your wife. None of that stops. Like, so, and you and I have this thing, like, we also got to take care of our moms. Like, you have siblings, but you're the closest one to her.
Yeah.
And so you handle it. I have no siblings. So, I handle a lot of this stuff too. So it's been a challenging year, but this has been a bright spot.
The podcast has definitely been a bright spot. Yeah. And I love our listeners and their participation. And I'm geared up. I mean, I'm excited, especially ever since that class. I'm excited for, for some branding. I'm excited to really focus on kind of, even without the politics, I'm excited for us to delve into topics that are truly strongly worded.
Yeah. People love the dress code.
That was a good one.
They love Sue getting spicy with Johnny.
But it's true. We are definitely, I am excited about some more strongly worded conversations with each other or with guests or just however we proceed. So, folks, thank you for hanging with us for a year.
Yes, here's to 20 more.
Here's to 20 more.
And more listeners.
And more listeners and more strong words.
If everyone in our group would listen.
If everyone in our group shared on their personal Facebook page one time their favorite episode.
Oh, that would be awesome.
We could probably
let's put that in a group this week.
Yeah, we'll do that. We will do that. So I posted a picture today about how it started versus how it's going, because this table was, how when you're cleaning sometimes things get messier before they get cleaner.
Yes.
This table was piled high with things I was pulling out to reorganize, and then I got it back. That's how it looks. All right, folks. So find us on Instagram at the Strongly Worded Pod. I'm TikToking a little more.
Yes,
we're TikToking.
You got bona fide ads. One of them had like hundreds of views.
How about that?
Yeah, let's get it.
So, and I'm gonna be laid up for a few weeks, so I got nothing to do but make TikToks.
Yeah, man. We're not gonna record for a while.
Well, you'll come here. I can. I'm going to need one solid week off.
Listen,
maybe two.
Don't be stressing yourself.
Well, no. But I'm going to need one solid week off, maybe two. But, I can sit in a chair just as easily as I can lay in the bed once I can sit up. I just feel like once they scoop out all these organs, I'm going to want to lay flat for a while and let all that stuff take.
Listen, you're going to be, you're going to be in some pain, champ.
I'm going to stay up, and where's everything going to go?
You're going to be in some pain. Yeah,
I know. I've had C-section, so I feel like I have a little bit of an idea.
This is a big one, though, man. Yeah. It's a big one.
Well, removing a human from my abdomen through a slit in my stomach this big is also...
That is the most... we have to talk about that one day. That is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I have a vague recollection of the first one and Joe kind of looking over the sheet to see and then just turning right back. Like it was enough.
Like when Anthony, he was breached and he was coming early. And they had a mirror there. Oh my God. Okay, and so I always remember, so they take the little thing, and like you said, it's a little thing, but then they just pull it back like a sardine can.
Yep.
And I remember them starting to do that. And I'm looking at the mirror and my eyes just got so wide.
Yeah.
And Eb said to me, "You okay?" And I said to him, well, how do you feel? "Oh, I'm fine. I'm just tired." I'm thinking, that medicine must be great. Because they were just...
Yeah.
It's insane.
That's
an insane surgery. Shout out to all the moms. Because it's crazy. The fact that you can deal with that and... Oh, my goodness.
There's just a lot.
Like, she was home for Thanksgiving, like, bossing me around in the kitchen. Yeah. It's insane.
With my second C-section, I went into it rested. My first C-section was an emergency C. It wasn't planned. So I had already labored for hours and hours, and I was whooped in it. But the second one we planned, so I got some good night's sleep going into it. I didn't have to go into labor, so I bounced back pretty quick. And when we left the hospital, my dad had just returned from a hospital stay, and so we took the baby to see him before we went home, and I walked up the stairs. And then my mom was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? But I was still pretty well medicated or whatever.
Yeah.
Then I sat down while, we were visiting with the baby or whatever. And then I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get
The
out
minute.
here. I do not know how I'm going to get down the stairs.
We staying here tonight.
Yeah, I might be here on the couch for a while.
Joe, please go to the house. Get those
my
pills.
things. Can you just run to the drugstore real quick? Fill that script. All right, so find us on Instagram and TikTok. Please, if you haven't already, join the Strongly Worded podcast group. We don't spam you or bombard you with a bunch of stuff, but we do put a couple things in there a week to talk about. If you listen on iTunes, and probably 80% of you do, please give us a 5-star rating and review. If you want to give 1 star, maybe just shoot us an email instead. But if you are enjoying what you hear, please leave us a review. We are on Twitter at the Strongly Worded P.
Yes.
All right. Season 4.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's get ready for a strongly worded next topic.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Wow, that one flew by.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I looked down and we were over.
This Strongly Worded podcast is written and produced by Johnny Hampton and Sue O'Lear. Music production and vocals by Marshall Max LaMont Hamilton, and cover art by Samantha Shakes.